What you will hear in this video is something I am narrating just for the sake of awareness, so you know what is happening around you. I know that many people will listen to this and may get upset saying, "Why should we care about this?" What I'm going to tell you is simply a narration of something strange happening around us in the world. It is one of the most bizarre practices and rituals of Buddhism called Sokushinbutsu, which began in the year 835 AD, more than 1,000 years ago. Many monks attempted to practice these brutal rituals over the past 1,000 years, but only 24 succeeded in completing them. These rituals consist of 3 stages, which I will explain to you. However, the final results of successfully completing these rituals should be searched for online, because showing them directly is highly disturbing and could result in the video being removed. I will also explain how you can find these images online. So let's begin the video. Buddhists believe that a human life is an endless cycle of suffering from birth until death. After death, one is reborn and returns to life, continuing to live the same suffering. This cycle continues indefinitely. They believe the only thing that can stop human suffering forever is reaching a state of enlightenment called nirvana. Honestly, I cannot find an exact description of what the nirvana state feels like, what a person experiences, how they appear, or whether it exists in our world or another. They believe that nirvana frees you from the cycle of repeated birth and grants eternal death, relieving you from the suffering of life. Millions of Buddhists around the world practice rituals that bring them closer to nirvana, but only a very small group lives their entire lives solely to reach this stage. These are the true Buddhist monks. To become a true Buddhist monk, one must make an enormous sacrifice and give up everything in life. These monks leave their family, community, friends, and all their possessions. They live in remote monasteries in the mountains, following a strict religious life to reach nirvana and practicing the rituals mentioned at the beginning of the video. So, what are the Sokushinbutsu rituals? They are rituals established over 1,000 years ago in the rugged mountains of northern Japan, created by a Buddhist sect called Shingon. This sect believes that one can reach nirvana through physical punishment, and from this idea, the Sokushinbutsu rituals were born. Monks may participate in these rituals, and if they can pass all the stages, they can approach nirvana. Hundreds of monks have tried these rituals, but only 24 succeeded in completing them fully. The Sokushinbutsu rituals consist of 3 stages. The first stage is called mokugyo, meaning training to eat tree leaves. This is a very strict diet lasting 1,000 days to complete the stage. Most monks do not finish the 1,000 days. During this stage, they eat walnut seeds, tree bark, and something called pine needles, which they gather themselves, and they also swallow small stones to reduce hunger, as the stones fill their stomach and suppress appetite. Since the stones are not digested or absorbed by the body, they do not disrupt the strict diet of the first stage. Additionally, they engage in strenuous physical exercise during the first stage, and if they do not exercise, they practice meditation, which is their well-known routine. If a monk successfully completes the 1,000 days or the first stage, most monks die during this stage and do not proceed. Those who survive and have the ability and readiness move on to the second stage. This stage is much shorter than the first, but presents a greater challenge, and its rules cannot be altered. In the first stage, for example, they eat stones to suppress hunger. In the second stage, the previous practices are no longer applied. The 24 monks who reportedly reached the end of the rituals are said to have repeated the first stage 2 or 3 times to prepare themselves for the following stages. Some spent 2,000 to 3,000 days in the first stage to be ready for the second stage. The second stage is called Nyujo, meaning deep meditation. In this stage, the monk sits in place and meditates to the point of separating the mind from the body. It is difficult to convey the meaning precisely, but they meditate with their mind as if they are asleep, dreaming they are flying through space, disconnecting their bodily sensations. They imagine themselves as dead, becoming a ghost without a body. The duration of the second stage is only 100 days, and the diet consists solely of liquids. They do not eat leaves or stones and drink only a small amount of salty water and a very special type of tea. This tea is made from the bark of the poisonous ivy tree, urushi. Imagine sitting for 100 days drinking salty water and poisonous tea, which causes severe irritation in the throat and stomach, feeling as if you want to reach inside your stomach to crush it. This irritation occurs inside the body, not externally, and the tea also causes repeated diarrhea, putting the body into a state of dehydration or fasting. The third stage cannot be voluntarily chosen like the first 2. The first and second stages can be repeated multiple times if one survives, but the third stage is fatal, as you will learn. This stage does not have a name like the first 2 because very few monks have reached it, but it follows strict rules similar to the first 2. In the third stage, the monk sits in a specially designed cedar wood coffin, in a lotus or meditation position with legs folded inside. The coffin does not allow the legs to stretch or for the monk to lie down, and it is made to fit the body perfectly. Once the coffin is ready, the monk enters it, the lid is closed, and a bamboo or reed tube is placed above for breathing. The coffin is then buried in a 3-meter deep pit, and when they ensure the bamboo tube reaches above the ground, the pit is filled with charcoal. Before explaining what happens in the third stage, you should understand the purpose of these stages. They are designed to test whether the monk has the will and determination to reach nirvana. If the monk is not ready to complete the first stage, it is impossible for him to continue to the second or third. These stages act as a filter to eliminate weaker monks. The second purpose is to reduce the monk's body mass through the strict diet. In the first stage, eating leaves and performing continuous physical exercises removes all body fat and reduces muscles to an extremely thin state by the end of the stage. The second stage serves 2 purposes. First, to induce a coma-like meditative state, and second, the poisonous tea kills all remaining bacteria and parasites, preparing the monk for the third stage. In the third stage, the monk is in a coffin buried 3 meters underground with only the bamboo tube for breathing. He remains alone for several days, meditating in darkness. A thin rope is attached to a bell, which he must pull daily, signaling the supervising monks above that he is still alive. When the bell stops ringing completely, they know he has died and transformed into a mummy. According to their beliefs, to free oneself from the cycle of repeated life and death, and to achieve eternal death and nirvana, one must transform into a mummy. The Sokushinbutsu rituals are thus self-mummification practices. The first stage removes fat and muscle and reduces moisture in the body, killing natural bacteria and parasites that would normally decompose the body after death. The second stage eliminates remaining bacteria and parasites, and the poisonous tea causes diarrhea to remove water and kill any residual bacteria. Preparing for the third stage, the stage of death. In the third stage, the monk enters the coffin and continues to pull the bell every day so other monks know he is alive. When the bell stops, they know he is dead. The supervising monks then remove the bamboo tube and leave him in the coffin underground for 1,000 days. Afterwards, they open the coffin to ensure the body shows no signs of decay. Thus, the self-mummification ritual is completed successfully and the monk reaches nirvana. The bodies of these monks are considered sacred and are placed in temples or monasteries. Monks whose bodies decay and do not mummify are considered to have failed to reach nirvana. When their coffins are opened, they are left inside in their decayed state, and the coffin is closed again, leaving them buried underground. In the late 19th century, Japan banned the Sokushinbutsu rituals in temples, but even today, some monks practice them secretly. I wanted to show images of these monks who mummified themselves in the video, but I feared it would be blocked. You can search for images on Google by typing Sokushinbutsu, and you will find pictures that may shock you. And that's the end of our video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and share from all your accounts and across social media. Until I prepare a new video or story for you, see you and goodbye.